Why should we detox? It's one of those things that it might sound a bit scary, but it is in fact very simple, correct?
Yeah, look, it is, Colin. Like, as naturopaths, we're always talking to patients or helping people to get their body back into balance. But too often our diet, lifestyle and just pace of life prevents that from happening. And, you know, one of the reasons that we do this Healthy Habits Challenge, there's a number of reasons. The first reason is that, you know, our body's constantly exposed to harmful chemicals and toxins, you know, in the water we drink, in the air we breathe, in our diet. You know, you only have to look at things like artificial or additives, preservatives, artificial sweeteners, processed food, too much sugar, coffee, alcohol, you know, all of these chemicals. So the idea of the 2 weeks Healthy Habits Challenge is to give your body a good rest. And it's when you give the body a good rest, then the body can focus on starting to heal and repair. So number one, you know, we do it to get rid of toxins. Now, number two, the second reason is that one of the challenges I find with a lot of people is that everyone comes in and they want to follow a healthy eating plan or they want to change their diet, but unless they sort of commit to a really strict 2 week period to start with, I find most people will start, they'll do well for a couple of days, they'll go off for a couple of days. So one of the things I love about the 2 weeks Healthy Challenge is that the reason we set a date is that people can build up a sense of anticipation to starting, and we're starting on this next Monday. And using willpower, and I guarantee this, if someone can do this 2 week Healthy Habits Challenge and stick to it strictly for 2 weeks, it actually flips a switch in their brain that gets them on track then for the next 6 or 12 weeks.
Yep.
So it actually is one of the ways to really get your head back in the zone. You know, have you ever done that before where you've started a healthy eating program and you sort of stop and start, or you can't quite get into it?
Well, I think it can be difficult because
this is from my experience. This is the way to snag it, to get the head back in the zone. So, as well as detoxing, it gets you back in control of your diet, your lifestyle, etc. And you know, the idea is that if you're back in the zone, it gets you a good 6 to 12 weeks, then you can stick to it. And
I suppose one of the beauties of this is that other people will be going along with it. You do have a Facebook page from memory that is the Healthy Habits Facebook page, so you'll be able to join one another's journeys, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
And share experiences with one another.
And people can ask questions. We've got hundreds and hundreds of recipes there, all for free. And that's the other thing, that once you do this and you do it successfully, it becomes a tool then that you can pull out any time you feel like you've gotten off track.
Right.
You can pull this out and do the 2 weeks and get you right back in the zone again. So not only is it, you know, a clean eating program, gives the body a rest from toxins, but it really helps to reset the brain.
Okay.
Get you right back in the zone.
So it starts from Monday. We'll be running for 2 weeks. You can get all that information on your website, correct?
Yep. People can get onto our website and they can download the free ebook, or on our Facebook page as well.
Okay, beautiful. All right. So look, I suppose it's one of those things where what will be involved with it? I mean, juices for breakfast mostly. Just give us a bit of a rough idea about what we will be eating.
So basically, what it involves, so what it is basically, it's a 2 week healthy eating plan.
Right.
So we all start on the Monday, we do it for 2 weeks. So the first 5 days, and we've gone through with the meal plan and given you suggestions for breakfast, snacks for morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, etc. And people can either follow the meal plan exactly, or they can pick and choose, and if they find a breakfast they like, they can just stick with that.
Okay.
So we do 5 days of healthy eating. So the idea is for the 2 weeks, it's no coffee, no alcohol, no sugar, no processed food. It's low carb. We try and cut out bread, and basically, nothing artificial. So 5 days of healthy eating. The middle weekend, and this is my favourite part. Some people struggle with this, but I've had people in their 80s do this.
Wow.
The middle weekend, you can do 1, 2 or 3 days of fruit and vegetable juices only. Or if you think you're going to struggle with blood sugar a little bit, you can also include a bit of vegetable soup. So 5 days of healthy eating, 3 days of juicing, and what that does, it really gives your body a rest.
Should we be exercising during this too? Or should we try and keep that a minimal?
No. While you're doing the program, I recommend trying to do 30 minutes a day, at least for 5 days.
Okay.
5 days of the week.
So just walking, that's fine?
Yeah, unless you're already doing, it's a healthy eating plan. And we'll go through some of the toxic withdrawals in a moment, because it's quite interesting what can happen. So 5 days healthy eating, 3 days of juices, and then there's 6 days of healthy eating. So you sort of work your way towards having like doing a fast almost with the juices, and then you work your way out of it. So if somebody out there has diabetes or more serious health issues, they're more than welcome to call our office, and they can have a chat for free with one of our naturopaths to see whether this healthy habits challenge is really for them. And in the book, we've got a list of the conditions. If you're pregnant, if you've got diabetes, you just need a bit of extra guidance as to what sort of version you can do. But yeah, so if anyone's got any questions, they're more than welcome to ring the office and get some details. But if they get on the website, get on the Facebook page and download it, all the information is there.
Okay. Why is a detox for us a vital part of our health and well-being?
Well, basically, we call it a detox, but basically what it is, it's a clean eating plan for 2 weeks. And when we put foods into the body that are easier to digest, nutrient dense, then the body starts to function much better. We don't realise, like, a lot of patients will say to me after they've done the 2 weeks healthy habits challenge that they didn't realise how much their food was affecting them, energy-wise, mood-wise, difficulty losing weight, how much it contributes day to day. Because when you think about it, the biggest potential either benefit or toxin that we put into our body is the food that we eat. So food can either be, our friend or our enemy. So how you need to do a bit of a detox if you find you're stuck in the rut of craving sugar, caffeine or alcohol.
Just on that, look, coffee is a big thing for a lot of people. Coffee, Pete, I mean, is there a way we can have just a sneaky one coffee a day? Because I'm going to try and do this, but this is going to be a big issue for me. I like my coffee, as you know.
Well, look, all I can say to that is I stopped drinking coffee 12 months ago when I did the detox last year. And I would always recommend to people, if you've been a coffee drinker for a long time, it's worthwhile giving yourself 2 weeks off coffee just to see if you feel better for it. When I stopped drinking coffee, I found I wasn't craving the coffee. My head felt a lot clearer. And I really think that's continued to the day. So for me, I don't think coffee was actually all that good. So the detox or the 2 weeks healthy habits is an opportunity to see whether coffee is okay. And then some people will go off it for the 2 weeks and they'll choose to have it, but they go back to it maybe just of a weekend or just if they're out, not back to, 2 or 3 every day. So if you're drinking 2 or 3 every day, then it's probably a sign that there's other things out of balance. But if you have just one occasionally, once you're through the detox, then I think that's, if it feels okay for you, then it's fine. But I'd recommend trying to go without it for the 2 weeks, definitely.
All right, take that. Feeling tired all the time, that's a reason that a detox could be for you, correct?
Yeah, and what's really fascinating is when you do, and people will argue with me and say, well, I don't eat sugar and I don't do this and I don't do that. But so many people, when they do the Healthy Habits Challenge for the first time, the first 3 days, you don't realise what foods you're actually hooked into or almost addicted to. Often the first 3 days, when you cut out any extra sugar, cut out the coffee, cut out that glass of wine over night time, the first 3 days, as you go through a bit of a detox or a cleanse, you can find that you're really tired, really cranky. I always, find I'm going to bed really early those first few nights because you're just so sick of the sight of yourself as you come off those foods. But once you get through that first 3 to 5 days, most people, then the energy really starts to pick up. And
anxiety and depression. Interesting. We've spoken a lot on this program about how eating healthily can in fact improve your anxiety and depression.
Yeah, absolutely. With the same scenario, there's 3 things involved. Like, I had a patient in today that I was talking to about anxiety, and we were talking about how, if your digestion's overloaded, if your liver's overloaded, then your anxiety is going to be higher. The tighter you are, the more fatigued you are body-wise, the more you're going to rely off your nervous energy, which is just going to plug straight into making your anxiety worse. So I always think of, the liver is the most sensitive organ to dehydration. So if people aren't drinking enough, they're going to be more anxious. And remember, when we talk about the liver as being like a filter, how your liver's overloaded is mood swings, depression, anger and anxiety. So when you clean eat, when you're drinking plenty of water, you're taking a lot of stress and pressure off your gut and your liver. So that's one of the reasons why then your nervous system is going to be...
We need to avoid sugar, gluten, dairy products, processed foods, processed fats like margarine, red meat, caffeine and alcohol.
Yep.
So we've spoken about what we can expect during the detox. So there will be a few mood swings, which is just natural for me anyway. Anything else symptoms-wise?
Well, basically the theory is that the greater your symptoms, because I've had people before, like day 2, they'll ring me up and say, I'm not doing this is stupid, I feel worse. But what I try and explain to them is that the worse you feel when you cut these foods out, the more addicted or the more of a problem those foods were for you. So
interesting.
If you do, the greater the symptoms, basically we say the more toxic your system is.
And it's all normal.
It's all normal, and you can get symptoms. People get tiredness, often headaches coming off coffee, mood swings, bowel variability, and it can also make other symptoms worse. If you've got a rash, it can make the rash worse, makes aches and pains. But it's kind of it's all a normal part of the withdrawal process, and it should only last a few days. But if somebody's doing the detox and they want a bit of help or support, that's why we've got that Facebook page there that will be answering questions every day.
Very important to drink a lot of purified water also, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the secret, really, isn't it?
Yep.
Flushing your system out.
Yep.
Yeah. How many? I suppose it just depends on how tall and how big you are. But drinking plenty of water, it'll be worth it at the end, Pete. You'll feel brand new.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. People get back in touch with us once they've done the 2 weeks and they say, can't believe how much better I feel. These habits, like changing these habits, have been great. I'm going to keep going. And we talk about that at the end of the challenge. What habits are you going to keep going with? Because it's about every year adding in new healthy habits, not every year adding in things that are going to place a strain on our health. Because unfortunately, as we get older, that's when things are going to catch up with us. So.
Now, there's a free talk happening tonight, Pete, at, where is it, Charlestown?
Yeah, Charlestown Multipurpose Centre.
That's it. It's beautiful. I was going to say that, but I thought I won't commit.
No, well done.
Look, this is a fantastic thing. It's free.
It's free.
To people that are saying, oh, is this for me? Give it a go.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that I know I've struggled with in the past, a friend of mine struggled in the past, is the cooking side of it. I know you're a cook.
I know I'm not. I've got a wife who's a wonderful cook.
Well, most males do.
Yes.
For the people that are really wanting to do this, the cooking part of it is kind of really important, correct?
Oh, look, it's all about, the reason we've put so many recipes together is that you can get on there and tailor it to you.
Yep.
Like we've got the 2-week meal plan, but if I was preparing this just for myself, we've got on there what we call a high-protein muesli.
Yep.
So that's something that you could make up yourself, buy the ingredients, make up a tub of that, and that's your breakfast sorted every day.
Right, I'm just looking at that now. That does make a lot of sense.
So you can go through and pick and choose, like dinner of a night time. Like for the 2-week challenge, we recommend no red meat. So if you like fish, you can easily do fish and steamed veggies or fish and a salad. It doesn't have to be, the cooking's not the effort, it's more the food preparation and having the stuff there.
So the 3-day fast is in fact a Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yes.
Is it compulsory to do that, or
No.
Okay,
no.
right.
Some people will just do the 2 weeks of healthy eating. If you can, if you think you're going to struggle with blood sugar, and again, if you think you've got one of the conditions we've listed in the book where you need to talk to someone first, then obviously you need to see if you're diabetic. You don't want to be doing a juice fast. However, if you find you like the idea of just even 1, 2 or 3 days of just light eating, you could combine maybe fruit and vegetable juices with maybe a vegetable soup.
Okay.
So that way you still feel like you're having something. But the idea is it does something to that mental and emotional connection we have with food and with eating. So the experience of eating less and actually finding you don't need to eat as much is one of the benefits that comes out of this program as well. Like you find that you are satisfied with less food and you're not craving sweets and you're not looking for extra things in between. And on the ebook itself, I think that's the website you're looking at. On the ebook, it's actually, you need to save it in a format where you can access the links.
Right.
So you click on the links will take you to the website to where all the recipes are as well.
Okay.
We've got Carly, who's been on this show before, is our children's expert at Mullen Health. And she'll be doing a free talk on health tips for kids, including lunchbox ideas. So, when young mums come to see us, their biggest concerns are what to feed their kids, particularly these days when kids seem to be so, sensitive or reactive to what they're eating. So Carly's got some awesome, and it's stuff that she does with her kids. So it's all, what's great about Carly's presentations is she's a mum, 2 young girls.
She knows what it's like.
She knows what it's like. She's dealing with it day to day. So her recipes aren't just recipes someone's made up that sound good. They're recipes that she uses day in, day out. So you know that they're going to be kid friendly. So that's a great, and I think that's a daytime thing. But again, people will be able to get on our website and find out more information about that as well.
All right. Well, thank you for your time today. Don't forget
My
you
pleasure.
can catch this as a podcast on our website at 2NURFM.com. You can also see it as a video if you would like to see.